And this is Ken Kreitzer for CBSI Services at the headquarters in Harrison, New York. Have a good friend visiting the office, Jeff Gundersen, who I've known for years and years. And he is head of a company, Executive Connections, and the offices in Connecticut, Florida, and California, among other spots. And Jeff, good to see you. Great to have you visit.
Great to be here, Ken.
Well, you've had an illustrious career. I do a lot of writing, work with a lot of executives on leadership and helping companies find leadership. Tell us a little bit about your career, if you would.
Well, I've been a marketing consultant for 30 years now, Ken. I began my career the first decade at Deloitte Consulting at their flagship office in New York City, and working predominantly for Fortune 100 clients in a combination of marketing, sales, and distribution transformation. And from there, I spun out and for the past 20 years have been a senior leader in two smaller boutique marketing consulting firms. First, Gundersen Partners for about a decade, and then for this last decade, Executive Connections, of which I'm the founder and CEO.
Very good. And maybe tell us a little bit about some of the services in your current venture, Executive Connections.
Well, we're really a firm that's focused on marketing transformation, Ken, and that has two primary aspects. One, executive search consulting, where we work with companies large and small in building and transforming global marketing teams and organizations. And the second aspect of that is a real dedication to career transition and personal branding. And how that works is that we focus with each individual executive that we place into companies to help them to develop their personal packaging and positioning, both internally and externally within those organizations, in order to accelerate the success that they have in adapting into the new role and contributing and delivering what's expected, and also at the same time raising their profile in the broader industry as well as to the benefit of the companies that they're serving at that time.
Absolutely. And when you and I first met, everything was about direct mail, and contact center marketing was just in its infancy, I would say. And, email barely existed, and certainly smartphones were still just a glimmer in Steve Jobs' mind. How have you seen the change occur in some of the technology, but still the consistency and need for leadership, and also what we see as analytics?
Yes, Ken, I would say that probably one of the biggest surprises for many large enterprises in particular was the speed with which that the transformation of marketing has moved into a digital and mobile first direction. I think as recently as 6 or 7 years ago, digital marketing and media budgets were less than 5% and still being viewed by the CFO and CEOs as more or less an experiment. Where we sit today is now, particularly through smartphones and the tablet, which, by the way, the tablet, according to industry studies, which were supported by many of the top 100 global advertisers as well as the top media companies, delivered the result that the tablet was the fastest growing technology innovation of all time, faster in terms of consumer adoption worldwide. Faster than the radio, the television, the telephone, the iPhone, the personal computer. And this has been a game changer. And this has been a game changer which has now resulted in companies needing to be much more, mobile and digital first. That's the first screen. The tablet is the new first screen. And it's affected marketing in dramatic ways.
And certainly, we were just at a meeting in New York where a couple of financial executives were talking about what they do, and it sounded so different from 15 years ago when I worked in banks downtown. And everything is about how you approach customers online, mobile first, as you say. How have the skills changed that someone, let's say in financial marketing, needs to have to really flourish in today's communication environment?
Well, what we're seeing increasingly, Ken, is that marketing has shifted to really a real-time world. And so with the customer and the prospect, online pretty much 24/7, it's really marketing used to be in an area where you would create a campaign, and whether that included direct mail or broadcast or other media channels, you would create the campaign, then run it and sit back and analyze those results over 6 or 8 weeks. Marketing has really moved and shifted to marketing in real time. It's about following your current customer and prospect as they're online shopping and looking for various products and services, and then also understanding the history of what they already buy and consume from you and from other adjacent competitors, and then serving up relevant and timely offers and incentives that will bring the customer to a purchase decision sooner.
Absolutely, and certainly getting set for fourth quarter. I heard that some of the retail outlets are struggling to find employees to staff up this year, which is, I guess it's a good sign that the economy and employment situation is a little bit better. What are some of the trends that you see in retail online for some of the big companies that are going to be so active in the fourth quarter this year?
Well, I would say, retail, we see, first of all, many struggling retail businesses. We certainly have had clients and friends of ours from Sports Authority, Golfsmith, among a couple of recent bankruptcies that were announced in either Chapter 11 or Chapter 7, filings. So I would say that disintermediaries like Amazon Prime and other online retail channels have really made it very difficult for brick and mortar retailers to basically survive and thrive. And the ones that I say, are definitely committed in using an omni-channel approach, which includes a very strong mobile commerce and e-commerce element to their business strategies.
Right, we're talking to Mitch Modell this spring about how they're endorsing exactly what you described in developing their online presence. Now, you mentioned your company has services can help individuals who may be going through a change in their career and with branding. Maybe you could just describe that.
Yes, it may be surprising and maybe not so surprising that many executives who work in a particular company or industry sector for several years and then are merged out or find themselves in the marketplace for the first time are kind of ill-prepared for how to go about it. We launched a new service recently called Brand Activate, which is a 4-week service which we are working with, probably 4 or 5 executives a week that come into that program. And basically, we can review their current resume, their bio, their headshot, their LinkedIn profile, pretty much all their personal branding materials, both online and offline, and including doing a little bit of reputation management checking, and then help them to sort of repackage and reposition themselves in order to set them up for a successful job search.
Great, Jeff Gundersen. Tell us a little bit how people can reach you and find you on all of your media platforms.
Well, we've got a very robust website at executiveconnectionsllc.com. And you can certainly find me on LinkedIn as well as on Twitter. And my Twitter handle is @JeffGundersen.
Absolutely. And you have a wonderful monthly newsletter that you send out with a lot of very helpful interviews and topics. So great to see you. Thank you so much for visiting us here at CBSI Services.
Thanks, Ken.
Pleasure, Jeff. Jeff Gundersen, CEO, Executive Connections, based in Connecticut, Florida, and California. Great to have you visit. For CBSI Services, this is Ken Kreitzer. Okay, we did about 9 minutes.